Yep. So feel free to turn your video off if you would like. So there's someone here called Stephanie, and that might be someone I don't know. So welcome, Stephanie. Then again, it might also.
That's me. It's just one of my colleagues' Zoom account who I've been using for work, and that's what it automatically loaded whenever I came on. Sorry.
You have a whole nother secret identity.
Yes.
That's your alter ego.
Exactly. So we could all have, yes.
What's really most helpful? Oh, I totally forgot this. I heard someone say this week that your heart, you are always grounded in your heart. Your heart is always a grounding place. So most of the time we're up here spinning around. But if we can get into our bodies and into our hearts, we know what our decisions are, we know what's important, and we know who we need to care for in any given moment. So let's enter this place by entering that fabulous tool of presence, which is the breath. So we're just going to start sitting, grounding down through your sit bones, lifting up through the spine, crown of the head nice and soft and open. If you're at home and you don't have a yoga cushion, consider a couch cushion, sitting on a couch cushion so your spine can maintain its natural arc. And then just take a few normal breaths. What do you hear when you breathe? How does it feel, and where do you feel the breath? And then for the next couple of breaths, count the length of your inhale. So maybe you inhale for a count of 6. On your exhale, add 2 counts to the inhale. So if you inhale for 6, you exhale for 8. And do this for a couple of breaths. And see if you notice anything happening in your body while you lengthen the exhale. Now add another 2 counts, if you're still comfortable, to your exhale. If you're still comfortable, you can try adding another 2 counts onto your exhale, but the minute you start feeling strained or a bit stressed, just return to your normal breath. Take note of the sensations you feel in your body. Maybe you feel calmer. Maybe you feel a little bit more at ease. Remembering the breath as a tool you can return to at any time during the day to help kick in that parasympathetic nervous system. And then everybody just return to a normal breath. So we're not doing anything to it. And then inhale, just let your spine come a little bit taller. And exhale, drop an ear to a shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Couple times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Letting your movement be enveloped by the breath. So it's like the breath is a circle, and within the circle is the movement. Then head back up to center. Switch the movement so that your chin swivels to your shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. A couple times following your breath. So you don't have to follow me. And then the other thing I'd like to say is that if at any point your body wants to do something different, or you want to come out of a pose before I cue you to, just do it. If anything doesn't feel good, don't do it. Pipe up with questions if you have them. And then back to center. Tip your chin forward so that the back of your neck lengthens. And see if you can breathe all the way, feel as if you're sending the breath all the way down into your tailbone. And on every exhale, see if you can just soften through this ridge of shoulder as it connects to your neck a little bit. And then I know we've been sitting for a while, so at any point, you are also free to extend your legs out straight in front of you. Everybody now inhale your chin up. Inhale, bring your arms nice and wide behind you a little bit. Exhale, give yourself a great big hug. Inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, give yourself a great big hug, and you can always exhale through your mouth. Inhale again, great big hug. Exhale. One more time. Squeeze as hard as you can. Really put some muscle into it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then just release and let go. Hands can come to your knees. We're just gonna, and you can come off your lift if you want. We're gonna inhale forward. Exhale, circle back. A couple times, inhaling forward. Exhaling, circling back. And then switch directions. Pardon the soundtrack of someone in the bath upstairs singing. And then come on back to center. This time again, extend your legs whenever you need. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, one arm comes to your knee, the other arm just touches the floor lightly behind you. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, other side. A couple times, just like this. Breathing into your side ribs as you inhale up. Slow exhale down. Arms come back up to center. You can exhale them down. If your legs aren't extended, let's extend them. Just do a few circles with your ankles. And then point, all this walking. I don't know about you, but I've been walking a lot. So point your toes, flex your feet. A couple times. And then we're gonna come right onto our back. So you can, if you're sitting on a lift, you can move it out of the way. And I don't think we're gonna be using a strap today, but if you don't have a strap at home, consider coming next week with a house coat strap or a belt, but we don't need that today. It's just for future reference. So we're gonna come right onto our backs, knees hip width apart, feet under your knees, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And all you're gonna do for a few breaths is breathe into the heart, breathe into the belly, feel the connection between the two, and exhaling the tension out of your shoulders, letting your jaw be nice and soft, and letting the skin around your eyes be nice and soft. And then for a few breaths, exaggerate how your spine lifts off the mat on the inhale. And then exaggerate how the spine presses down into the mat, and maybe the back of your neck loses a bit of its curve on the exhale a couple times. Coming to neutral. Arms come out in a T by your sides. On an exhale, drop your knees over to one side in a windshield wiper and look out over your opposite arm. Inhale back to center. Exhale other side. Following your own breath, see if you can hear your breath. Use your Ujjayi breath. So constrict, if you like, the base of your throat. Connect your auditory senses with what you're doing. One more time each side. And then coming back to center. Arms can come down by your sides again, but palms facing down. And we don't want to press very hard into the floor. They're just for support. You might want to walk your heels in a little closer to your bum. Have a look at your knees. You don't want them to splay out. You don't want them to cave in towards each other, but keep them nice and parallel to each other. On the inhale, we're gonna lift our hips up into the air. Mini bridge. Exhale, lower them down. Now think about your feet. Just like when we're standing, are your arches lifted? And keep going back and forth, inhaling up, exhaling down. Are your arches lifted? Are your toes engaged? Your toes should still be on the floor. Are you letting the power from your heels drive your motion upwards? Are you engaging your bum and your thighs? The next time you inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Inhaling the hips up and the arms up. exhaling down. If you have a lot of tension in your shoulders, consider just bringing the arms up into a T again, and then exhaling them down, or they could be in a wide V. The philosophy being here is never to do anything that increases tension that you don't want. Sometimes we want to load a little bit of tension. One more time, inhaling up. This time, let's stay up here for a couple of breaths, or for as long as you feel stable and at ease. Keep the shoulders and the neck nice and soft. Using your big muscles, keep you up. And then exhale, everything comes back down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Squeeze them in tight, rock side to side. And then you have a choice here, either to roll onto your side and come up onto your hands and knees, or to grab behind your thighs and to rock up and down a couple times. The full length of your spine. You could even lean a little bit to one side or the other. And then find your way all the way onto your hands and your knees. And do a few cat-cows here. So hands right under your shoulders, fingers pointing forward. The insides of your elbows are facing each other. And your elbows remain slightly bent. Your knees are hip distance apart or wider. And then on the inhale, lifting the chest and the chin, keeping the back of the neck long. Sit bones reach up and back behind you. And then exhale right from the tailbone first, curling all the way under. And a couple times like that, following your breath. If you're at the bottom and want to pause for a second and give your head a little shake, you can do that. And then come back to center. Walk your hands just about another hand length away from you, forward. Inhale, lift the chest and the chin. Exhale, knee or hips sink back to your heels. If you can't come to your heels, that's okay. You don't need to. You can also widen your legs if that's more, your knees if that's more comfortable for you. One more inhale up. Exhale, come down onto your elbows. Let your hips sink back a little bit more. And if you're able, you can keep your hands where they are. If you're able, reverse prayer behind your head. So your hands are either down on the floor in front of you, or they're behind your head. Wherever they are, just breathing into that space on either, down your back body, on either side of your spine. Keep the exhale nice and soft and long. Then hands come out in front of you again. We're going to take the left hand, place it under your forehead, walk yourself over to the left a little bit, and then walk your right hand long out. So it's like you're making a little half moon with your body towards the left. Left hand under your forehead, right arm reaching across and stretching, and then breathing into that side body. And if that's not clear, just have a look at your screen. Again, the hips are still sinking towards the heels. And then switch your hands and walk yourself over to the other side. This time the right hand is under your forehead and the left arm is reaching. And each time you exhale, see if you can, so the inhale broadens the back ribs, the exhale softens. Couple more breaths here. And then walk your hands to center. Anchor your hands into the floor. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, curl through the toes. And lift up into a downward facing dog. So sit bones reaching up and back behind you. Just like when we were on the hands and knees, our middle fingers are pointing forward. The eyes of the elbows are facing each other. Gentle bend in the arms. Shoulders rolling out away from you, and then walk up and down through the back of your legs. One heel at a time. You can evolve your whole hip if you like. You could raise both heels at a time. Then settle just for a breath into a place of stillness. Sit bones still sending out back behind you. Letting your head be heavy. And then walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands. Find your way into a forward fold. Knees as bent as is necessary and comfortable for you. Holding your elbows in the palms of your hands. And just letting the weight of your head descend down towards the floor. Breathing into your sit bones. Then slowly bending through the knees a little bit more. Rooting down through the ankles, or through the heels, sorry, and rolling all the way up into a standing position, mountain pose. So building mountain pose from the bottom up. I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see me. Sort of. But you might not be able to see all of me, but enough. So feet lifting up through the arch. The toes are engaged. They're not curled, but they're engaged. Engaging all the way up through the legs, the glutes, and letting your shoulders roll out to the side. For a few breaths, inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more times. This time we're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale down, one arm in front of us, one arm behind, just like when we were sitting, only now we're standing. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more times each side, following your own breath. Now inhale the arms up to center. This is going to be a little different. Actually, okay, arms come down to the side. Let's start again. I'll show you and then we can do it together. It's going to be a quicker breath. It's going to be, so 2 inhales and then 1 exhale. So we're going to do that 5 times. Ready? And then back up. One more time. And inhale all the way back up standing. And find your mountain pose again. Let yourself center. Thumb pressing into the heart just a little bit. Easy in the shoulders. Come to the front of your mat. We're going to inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, root through the heels. Inhale all the way back up, standing. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend through your knees, root through your heels, all the way up again. Leading with the chest and forehead. Exhale, mountain pose. This time we're going to add on the sun salutation. So inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway up. Back nice and long, hands on the shins, crown of the head and tailbone reaching away from each other. Exhale down, hands root down. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. And you can either come onto your knees or sink onto the floor, elbows skimming your ribs. Inhale, little cobra. So lifting with the chest and the chin. Keeping the back long. Exhale down. Inhale, turn the toes under, root the hands down. Downward facing dog. Step or walk your feet and your hands together again. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way up standing. Exhale, mountain pose. Spinning breath here. Don't forget the pause in between the inhale and the exhale. Creating that sense of space. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Nice long spine. Exhale, hands come to the ground. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. Come down onto the floor. Elbows skimming your ribs. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale. Inhale, curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. However it is, you bring your hands or your feet to your hands, either walking them forward or you could lift one leg up and back and swing it through. Come forward into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Bend your knees, root through your heels, reverse up to standing. Couple breaths, full breath cycles in mountain pose. Shoulders at ease. Settling for a moment into that breath we established at the beginning of class. And inhale, the arms come up. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. And this time you can step your left foot back and you can stay on the ball of your back foot, or you can drop your knee to the ground. If you're on the ball of your back foot, well, in either case, bring your left hand into close in towards your right foot. Inhale the other arm up. Every inhale, the spine becomes longer. Every exhale, opening up. Exhale, arm comes down. We're going to step the right foot back to join the left foot. Come on down onto the floor. Inhale, little mini cobra. Exhale down, curl the toes under, down facing dog. Step or walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down, bend through the knees. Inhale, all the way up, standing. Mountain pose. Take a settling breath here. I hope everyone's doing okay. Let me know if you have questions. Usually I don't practice as much. Usually I'm not doing all the poses. I can see how it's tiring. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step your other foot back. And drop to your knee if you want. Bring, if you were on your knee, you might have to walk your front foot forward a little. Arm comes down to the inside of the foot. Inhale, lift the chest. Spine nice and long on the inhale. Exhale, open. One more breath. Exhale, hand comes to the floor. Step back into a downward facing dog. And then lower the knees to the floor, body to the floor. A little mini cobra. Exhale down, turn the back toes under, downward facing dog. And then walk or step or hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. And reverse all the way up, standing. Exhale, a couple of breaths in mountain pose. Every exhale, just lengthening it a tiny little bit. Easing tension in the shoulders and the neck, letting the jaw be nice and loose. Step your right foot forward, left foot back, and then widen your stance so that your hips face forward. Inhale, knee bends, arms lift up. Exhale, knee straightens, arm come down. 2 more times. Your arms could even be coming up to the side. Maybe they're not coming up very high. Doesn't matter. Be at ease. Stability and ease. Just kind of a nice slogan for life right now. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, open into warrior 2. Shoulders nice and easy. Little serpents. Let's actually straighten that front knee. We still want a little micro bend, but it's more straight than it is bent. Inhale. Exhale, reach forward, forward, forward. Let that arm fall. Inhale the top arm up. Every inhale, your spine gets a little longer. And every exhale, you open up a little more towards the ceiling. But open from the hips first. Remember, first the hips. You can even take your hand to your own hips, your lower ribs. upper ribs, your shoulder. Then inhale all the way up. Back into warrior one. Exhale, bring your knee, nose to the knee of your front leg. Again, knee can be bent here as much as you like. Give your head a little shake. Breathe in the hamstring of that forward leg. And then take your hands and walk them. We're going to do a little spin here. So walk them forward. Spin your feet so that you're in a forward fold, a wide-legged forward fold. Toes pointing a little bit out. And hands can either come to the ground in front of you, or you can loop your hands around your big toes, or your hands can be on your thighs, your shins. Wherever you are, just rock one shoulder to one side, the other shoulder to the other side, a couple times. Knees can be as bent as your hamstrings require here. Then we're going to use our hands to help us walk ourselves over to the left side. Walk your left foot out nice and wide. Turn your back foot out 45 degrees. Inhale up. Warrior one. Exhale, legs straighten, arm comes down. 2 more times into warrior one, dynamically. This time, inhale, warrior one. Exhale, open into warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Inhale, nice tall spine. Exhale, reaching forward, forward, forward. Dropping that hand either on the shin or the calf or on the floor. Inhaling, nice long spine. Exhaling, you can even take your upper hand, take it to your hip and help you rotate up. Inhale, nice long spine. Take your hand to your lower ribs. Open up to the ceiling. And then to your upper ribs, inhale. Exhale. And then at this end point, take a breath. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And then inhale all the way back up to standing. Warrior one. Exhale, nose to the knee. So that knee, the front knee now can bend quite a bit. Breathing into the hamstring here. The outer edge of your back foot stays nice and rooted down. Keep that neck nice and soft. And then from here, walk your hands forward again, even up your feet into a little wide-legged forward fold, feet like penguins pointing out. Take your hands behind you, if you like, and inhale your arms overhead. Just take a few breaths here. If your arms don't work interlacing your fingers, just maybe place the palms of your hands on your back. Wherever you are, taking a few breaths in the full back body. If your hands are up behind you, bending your knees a little more, everybody coming up, using your hands as leverage. And then exhale, heel toe your feet together. Mountain pose for breath. Now we're going to make our way all the way onto the floor again. Constructive rest. I gotta move my camera back down. So, and knees under your feet, hip width apart. Hands can actually come into a T by your sides. Bring your left leg over your right leg so that they're hugging each other. Inhale, shoulders are still nice and easy. But exhale, let the knees drop to one side. Inhale back up. Let the knees drop to the other side. And if they don't reach the floor, that's okay. One more time each side. You can look out over the opposite arm. Come back to center. Unravel your knees. Ravel up with the other knee on top. A couple times this direction. Back and forth. Inhaling up, exhaling over. Coming back to center. Both feet on the ground, arms can stay where they are. We're gonna pick up our hips a little bit and shift onto the outer edge of our left foot, hip. Bring both knees over into a twist and look out over the opposite arm. If you're more comfortable and you have a cushion nearby, put it between your legs. Take a couple breaths here and just think softness through the side body with every exhale. Inhale the legs back to center. Pick up the hips again. This time come to the rim of the right hip. Knees come over to one side. Head looks in the opposite direction and take a few long exhales here. Inhale back to center. Bring your palms over your kneecaps, fingers pointed down. Inhale, and then exhale, squeeze your knees towards your chest. Let the knees come away when you inhale. Exhale, squeeze again. One more time, inhale. Exhale, and this time give yourself a nice big squeeze and rock back and forth. Do whatever feels good for a last final little pose before relaxation. And then when you are ready, making your way into your favorite relaxation pose. If you have yoga equipment at home, or if you can approximate with couch cushions, many of you know this. Kind of scenario cushions, blankets, rolled up blankets, anything will do. If you're not comfortable all lying on the floor, this is a fabulous position. Just make sure you have something under your knees, that the angle is right, and that you have a nice little support under your neck. And wherever you are in your final relaxation pose, let's circle back to the beginning of class. Count the length of your inhale. And then add 2 counts onto your exhale. Breathe that way for 2 breaths, and then add another 2 counts on. And keep going like that until you're not comfortable anymore, and then just let everything go. This is a poem called Dharma by Billy Collins. The way the dog trots out the front door every morning without a hat or an umbrella, without any money or the keys to her doghouse, never fails to fill the saucer of my heart with milky admiration. Who provides a finer example of a life without encumbrance? Thoreau in his curtainless hut with a single plate, a single spoon? Gandhi with his staff and his holy diapers? Off she goes into the material world with nothing but her brown coat and her modest blue collar, following only her wet nose, the twin portals of her steady breathing, followed only by the plume of her tail. If only she did not shove the cat aside every morning and eat all his food, what a model of self-containment she would be. What a paragon of earthly detachment. If only she were not so eager for a rub behind the ears, so acrobatic in her welcomes. If only I were not her God. You are welcome to stay where you are for the meditation, or you can come up into a seated position. And we've done this before, but I think it's particularly relevant to do now. And it's from Tara Brach, and it's her rain meditation. R in RAIN stands for recognizing the suffering or hurting of movement. A is allow whatever is there to be there. Say yes to whatever is in the moment. I is to investigate the feelings in the body. N is to nurture, offer care with words or touch. So right now, just get a sense of what sensations are going on in your body. Recognize any part of your body that wants to let go a little bit. None of us probably need to reach very far to bring to life any situation that challenges our emotions. Something that's charged and difficult. Notice what arises. Whether that's a physical sensation or a memory, feeling. What is most dominant inside of you? And then allow it to be. Make space for what is there. Not fixating on it, not shoving it out of the way, not ignoring it either, but just letting it be here in your body. And then investigate. What most wants my attention? What is the most difficult part? What am I most afraid of or upset about? Investigate your feeling into your body to find where that is living. Maybe it's in your throat, or your heart, or your belly. Let your breath go there to help attention stay in your body. Ask that vulnerability, what do you most need right now? How do you want me to be with you? Does the vulnerability need acceptance, forgiveness, an expression of love or safety, protection? Sense what is and sense what it needs as you begin to nurture. Call on your highest self, your most awake self. Call on wisdom, love, the sense that you can bring the compassion this needs. And what does it need? Does it need a tender touch? Words or messages? Love? And if it feels difficult to offer compassion from your high self, call on some being that does offer this. Your dog, a higher being, the natural world. Let it flow through your hands, right into your heart, where the vulnerability lives. Seeing if you can let that warmth of care in and let it fill you. And like that moment of time after rain, notice the quality of presence that is with you and inside of you now. Fully rest in your heart space. The heart will always ground. What's your sense of your own being, of who you are right now? Is there room for others in this heart space? Knowing that this space is more true than any other story you might be telling yourself about yourself right now. Your heart space is your true home. Keeping all the softness, that sense of peace with you. Take a few deeper breaths. Make whatever little movements would help you come peacefully back into the room. And also knowing that the wonderful thing about you practicing in your own homes is that now you don't need to go out into the cold and snowy night. You just go right to bed. Find your way up into a seat, unless you are sleeping, and then just stay there. Because why not? You're at home. And we'll empty all the breath out of our lungs. Then we'll inhale and chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So inhale, exhale everything, let it go. Inhale again. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste, everyone. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording now and then we'll say goodbye.